First step would definitely be, researching it. How to use a contract, how to find a buyer, stuff like that. Because I see a lot of people ask, where do you get these contracts? Where do you find your buyers and stuff like that? Personally, me, all my buyers are on Facebook groups. You could go in there and look up your state's real estate investors, and there would be a list of many buyers that are from agents, from investors, builders, stuff like that.
What's up, everybody? It's Jamel Gibbs. Welcome to another podcast episode. This is the Business and Investing Podcast. And today we're going to talk to a young man who just started investing in real estate just a few months ago. And we're talking to the younger crowd today about how you can go from where you are right now to where you want to go in the real estate business. Especially at that age, anything is possible. Sky is the limit. Don't ever let somebody tell you that you're too young to do anything, because you can accomplish anything that you put your mind to. Just to give you a little bit of backstory about me, I started when I was 21 years old. I grew up in the projects. People told me that I wasn't going to be able to buy houses because I had no money. I had no credit. I had terrible credit because, and I'm sure our special guest is going to attest to this as well. When you register for college, what typically happens is you get all of these credit card offers. And then from there, if you're not utilizing that credit the right way, guess what happens? You run the credit up and you have bad credit instantly. And that's what happened with me, right? So I was 21 years old. I had no money. I had very bad credit, but I found a way to make this business work for myself. And so did our special guest today. We're going to talk to this young man about how he was able to just start real estate investing back in November, and he was already on his third deal this week, right? In fact, we're actually working on a deal together right now. Having a little bit of difficulty with it, but at the end of the day, it's a deal, right? And we're going to make some money on it. And that's what this is all about. Payton, what's up, man? How are you today?
What's up? How you doing? Thanks for having me.
Oh, man, it's a pleasure. So Payton Mayberry, tell us a little bit about yourself, bro. How did you get started investing in real estate? Like what sparked your interest?
Really, I've always wanted, be an entrepreneur. Started sophomore year, I was reselling shoes, stuff like that. And then I was doing a little bit of research. I would be on TikTok and like wholesalers would pop up on my page. I was like, what's that? So I just did more research into it, YouTube and everything. And I was like, man, as soon as I turn 18, I'm going to, start grinding on this and stuff like that. Because, when you're 17, you really can't sign a contract. My parents really didn't want to do it because, they didn't know that much about it. They thought it was something, suspect. But yeah, that's how it started.
That's how it all started, man. So you knew that you wanted to get into real estate. And I wish, look, you started 3 years before me, man. Fresh out of high school, you were looking into real estate and you ended up making it happen. So how tough was it for you to get started?
I was going to go the original route. I was going to get my broker's license, stuff like that. And then I started, like I said, doing research about wholesaling. Mm-hmm. And I was like, this would be an amazing way to, build my capital for what I really want to do, which is fixing and flipping properties and rental properties and stuff like that. But yeah, I think that's really, how I got into it, because it's always just been like, I'm just dedicated. So like whatever comes to my mind, I just want to do it.
Key phrase, man, dedicated, right? So a lot of people, I see a lot of people that look to get started in the real estate business, but I don't know what it is. I think people have something in the back of their mind that's basically preventing them from moving forward. Maybe it's an excuse or belief, some type of belief system that they have internally that prevents them from actually achieving what it is. Would you agree that, success is all in your mind and getting started is all in your mind?
Yeah, most definitely. I feel like you just have to, manifest it, speak it into existence. And, if you tell yourself that you want to do this, go ahead and just start. Because, when I first got my first deal in January, the whole month of February, I didn't get no deals. And then last week, 2 deals just, came into my lap like that. And it's like, you'll probably go a couple weeks, couple months without no deals, but it's all worth it. It's all worth the grind and everything. Just got to keep trying to find deals every day.
Absolutely, man. I appreciate that. Now, obviously, did you have a marketing budget when you first started? Like, what was the catalyst for you to be able to go from, not knowing anything to being able to really scale your business?
When I first started, it was just all like Facebook Marketplace. I would drive for dollars. That's what a lot of people that I watched, recommended. So I'd be on Facebook Marketplace, drive for dollars, and stuff like that. That's where I would get all my properties and, call them up and ask if they would be interested in selling their property. But yeah, stuff like that.
Gotcha, man. So was it an easy transition for you going from high school to immediately jumping into business?
Not really, but it was tough. You had to be dedicated 24/7, like I said. But it was definitely hard because you got to always be on top of everything. You got to manage a bunch of stuff. But yeah, it's definitely fun though. Definitely fun.
So are you in college right now?
No, sir. I'm probably gonna take a different route. A lot of my family took the college route, but personally myself, I don't see myself going the college route. Considering that school, everybody has different routes. Schools for some people. I wasn't bad at school, but I was averaging C's and stuff like that. So I'm not gonna if I can get something going for me this year, then I'm definitely gonna make what I can.
So basically, you don't have to be a genius to do real estate, right? Nope.
Nah, no, most definitely not. Most definitely not.
That's right, man. And you sound a lot like me when I was your age, man. I was a C student in school, and I barely graduated high school. I didn't go to college myself, man. I just went straight into business, and it worked out for me really, really well with some hard work and some dedication, like you mentioned earlier. You can really create the lifestyle that you want out of business. Now, that's not to say college isn't for, I'm not trying to prevent people from going to college. That's not what my intentions are. But I in my humblest opinion, college will create debt and really put you behind before you ever get started in life. Now, for some people, that education at college is what people need. I hire people that went to college, but I didn't go to college myself. You know what I mean? So I hire smart people, but I understand how to operate a business. So it's just a different level of thinking when you're a business owner. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, most definitely. If you need someone that is good with the numbers, like an accountant, you're not going to hire someone that just graduated college and didn't do nothing with it. You're probably going to want to get someone that has experience with college and accountant and stuff like that, and good with numbers.
Yeah. So like me, I got, a team of bookkeepers and accountants, right? And they all went to school for that. I'm not great at books at all, but I know numbers and I know when somebody's trying to rip me off, basically, right? Yeah. So as long as you have a basic understanding of what these different avenues of business are, then you'll be fine. But you don't need to go to a 4-year college or get a degree to be able to count numbers. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So most people jump into the real estate industry. Like I mentioned to you before, I have a video up on YouTube. Can you invest at 17 years old? I'll link it up at the top for those of you who want to watch it. But my point in bringing this up is I've been getting a lot of younger people around your age. Man, you got me feeling like I'm old. I'll be 40 years old in about 2 weeks. But most of the younger generation, they want to figure out what they want to do with their lives, right? They want to figure out how they can get started in real estate. So my question to you is, did it take a mindset shift for you to be able to get started in business?
I would say, yeah. I graduated and I was like, this is it. Like, this is life. I'm getting in that adulthood. I need something that I'm actually going to do. So I just shifted, got like Oh, well, let me speak. Okay. I just shifted my mind and, I was like, I needed to make this next step where I personally want to do with my life and stuff like that. But it was definitely a mind shift. Like I said, it's all worth it in the end once you get up there.
Absolutely. Absolutely, man. Great answer. And, what were some of the obstacles that you faced getting started?
A lot of people, just didn't believe it. They'd be like, wholesaling, this sounds illegal. A lot of this other stuff. And just happened to dedicate my time because I started when I was still in school, and I'd have to dedicate my time and stuff like that. But yeah.
Gotcha, man. So when people used to say wholesaling was illegal, how did that make you feel?
It made me frustrated because I guess I couldn't explain it the best way. But it made me frustrated because I knew it wasn't. Personally, before I started, I spoke to some people, like people that have big companies off wholesaling, investors, agents, stuff like that. But it made me frustrated because I knew it wasn't illegal, but then I just had to tell everybody that it wasn't, and then show them the proof and stuff like that. But yeah.
Couple of things that you mentioned there, man. You mentioned you had to show them the proof. So you got your first check and you were able to basically shut people up, right? We call that the shut up check, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's basically to shut up the naysayers, right? That could be friends, it could be family, it could be anybody. I had a ton of naysayers when I first started in business as well, man. But in addition to that, I believe that most people that don't understand a certain topic automatically calls it illegal, right? So, for example, let's say, for example, when Bitcoin first came out, people probably thought that was a scam, right? When wholesaling was first heard of, people said there's no way you can make money like that. But it all boils down to your thinking abilities and how you look at certain circumstances. Yes, there's clear scams out there, right? Clear things that are illegal, but just because you don't understand something doesn't necessarily make it illegal. Is that true? What do you think?
Yeah, most definitely. Just because you can't base off what you think if you don't know it. But yeah, some people don't know a lot of stuff and be like, "Oh, I've never heard of that. That's a scam.
That's
I've
right.
never heard of this. I've never seen people do it. It's a scam." But in reality, it's not. You just gotta learn it and do some deep thinking and all the other stuff about it.
Well, let me ask you this, man. When it comes to learning it, how much education did you uh, take in before you actually took action?
I would be on YouTube. I would, research a lot. I would look up how to use the contracts, what contracts I need to use. Stuff like how you find the ARV, which is after value repairs. Stuff like that. I would just look up every single detail. I would even do some research on like common stuff in the real estate world, like earnest money and all that other stuff like that.
Gotcha. So you had a thorough education, but did you over educate yourself? Because there's something called analysis paralysis, right? And you take in too much information before you actually take action. So what's more important for you, action taking or education?
Definitely action taking. Because you go ahead and start and you can learn on the way, like I'm doing. I'm still learning on the way. Someone mentioned TLC and I was like, what's that? But because I didn't really know what it was, but then I figured out what it was. But yeah, it's
Tender,
definitely you're gonna go
tender
ahead.
love and care for those who don't know. Basically, it basically means that a property needs some work.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, definitely learning on the way. I didn't know what double closing was until, one said mentioned something about it in a deal that I was gonna do. But you're learning on the way, you'll always still learn. But yeah.
Absolutely, man. So let's provide our listeners, those of you just getting started, 18, 19 years old. If we had to provide them with a step-by-step game plan, let's just say 3 to 5 steps to getting started. What would those 3 to 5 steps be?
First step would definitely be, researching it. How to use a contract, how to find a buyer, stuff like that. Because I see a lot of people ask, where do you get these contracts? Where do you find your buyers? and stuff like that. Personally, me, all my buyers are on Facebook groups. You could go in there and look up your state's real estate investors, and there would be a list of many buyers that are from agents, from investors, builders, stuff like that. And then the contract part, you can look them up on YouTube. If you're in North Carolina, Jamel Gibbs, he has contracts that you can use on their YouTubes. A bunch of wholesalers have them on their YouTubes that you can use.
That's right, man. And I'm going to provide, links to my videos up at the top, my playlist, my wholesaling playlist. If you just go through that, that's a full blown education on how to get started. I provide agreements and everything like that in that playlist as well. So you have the purchase agreement, you'll have the assignment agreement, you'll have the joint venture agreements, any and everything that you need in order to make this happen, which is exactly how Payton and I met. He literally contacted me on a deal that we had up for sale. It's a three properties, essentially a duplex and a single family property right next door to each other, package deal. And he was able to find a few buyers for it, and we joint ventured on that particular deal. And I found his story to be fascinating. Being 18 years old, it fit right in with some of the questions I've been getting from some of my audience, the younger crowd. So I definitely wanted to get him on because he's fresh out the gate in this business, right? But he's taking action and closing deals. And that's what this is all about, right? So this will help the younger crowd, but it will also help the older crowd, because sometimes when we get a little older, we forget to keep our young minds and our ambition at heart, to be able to use that as a catalyst to help us to get where we want to go on our journey, right? Sometimes we overthink stuff as we get older, and sometimes ego steps into play as well, right? So we want to prevent all of that. We don't know about that stuff when we're younger, and that's why you got to keep that young mind going. You know what I mean? So you mentioned research, you mentioned finding buyers, and are you just strictly joint venturing at this time?
No, I've been, cold calling. I've done a couple of deals where I found the property myself. But this area, Charlotte, North Carolina, the whole North Carolina, it's going crazy with real estate. So it's harder to find deals, but you just got to keep pushing. A lot of people think that, just because you're not getting the deal yourself under contract, you can't, still JV and make some money off of it.
Absolutely. Absolutely, man. So we provided them with a step-by-step process, right? Research. What was step number 2? Find buyers. And what was step number 3? Find deals.
Find deals. Yes, sir.
Right. So if we're researching and we're taking action by finding buyers and finding deals, now how difficult is it to go out there and actually get some cash in your pockets, man?
Not difficult at all. A lot of people ask me, my friends, when can I start? How do I get started? I say, right now. Start right now. That's all you got to do. Go on Facebook. If you're at home and you don't want to drive, go on Facebook Marketplace. Look for a house that's selling, by owner. Start right now. I tell them that all the time.
That's right, man. Now, what was your biggest, I'm going to get a little personal here, man. What was your biggest payday so far?
Definitely one, my first one I got, it was $6,000.
$6,000, man. And that's not bad.
Okay.
At 18 years old, that's pretty good. Would you agree?
Yes, sir. Most definitely.
And you're well on your way to getting a lot more checks than that, man. I love your ambition, and I love the story that you have, man. So obviously, our listeners would want to find out more about you and how your story is going, how your journey is going. One thing I'm going to recommend for you to do, man, you're 18 years old. The younger crowd knows about YouTube. I recommend you document your entire journey, man. You've done a couple of deals. You're not fresh out the gate because you've closed a couple of houses, but you're still brand new to this. I recommend you just document your entire journey of how you're literally just starting out in real estate and where you're going to end up. People are going to love that story, man. I'll subscribe to it myself, brother. I'll help you out if you want some help with that as well. But
yes, sir.
We could talk about that offline for sure, man. But where can our listeners get in contact with you if they just wanted to pick your brain a little bit, people your age?
On Instagram, it's Payton.Mayberry. He could put it somewhere in the description or something like that. But definitely on Instagram, that's where I'll be, answering any questions if you guys have any.
Sounds good, man. I'm definitely going to link that in the description box as well. And are you reading any books right now?
Right now, no. I was never a reader, but I see a lot of people, say, read these books, read that book, and I'm definitely going to get into it. There's a lot of knowledge with reading books. A lot of, wealthy, smart people read books. So I'm definitely going to get into, reading some books.
I'm honestly not a book reader myself. I'm an audio learner. So what I do is I listen to all of my books on audible.com. But one book that I will recommend for you, this kind of changes the mindset a little bit. Well, I'll recommend two books. The first one is going to be The Richest Man in Babylon. Fantastic book. It's going to help you think about money in a completely different way. And then the second book started me out when I was in high school, and that's why I want to bring it up. It's called Rich Dad, Poor Dad, man. If you haven't read it, I definitely recommend you read that book as well, man. Definitely going to put you on the right path with that. And yeah, man, you're already taking action. So since you're profitable, those two books are going to help you look at business in a completely different way. So what advice would you give to the younger generation or even the older generation? If you had to give them some last words, what would those words be?
If you're thinking about getting into it, start now. Don't wait, because the thing is, if you're young and, my age, 18, 19, and you fell, you still have so many more years to try something different. So just start now. Right after you're watching this YouTube video, look up and just start.
Right now. I love that, man. Payton Mayberry, man, it's been a real pleasure having you on. I definitely want to document your series, man, document your journey, rather. And I definitely want to have you on sometime in the future when you've done a few more deals and just kind of tell the world what you're doing, man, because I love the story and I want to see you grow, man. I want to see you win big time, brother. But yes, so you mentioned to me that your mom, your family's from Haiti.
Oh no, that's one of my partners. One of my partners.
Got you
from Haiti. Yes, sir.
Got you. Okay, perfect, man. And you also mentioned that you said your grandmother was watching my videos on YouTube.
Yeah, she was. I told my mom and her about you asking me on your podcast, and she was just watching your videos, listening to your podcast, and she was like, "He's intelligent, he's smart." And so yesterday, I came over to her house, and she was like, "Now I heard him say this on his podcast. Can you show me that?" And I was like, "Okay." Now she's getting the hang of it, and now learning it a little bit more.
Gotcha, man. So you're building confidence in your family. And helping them to see that they can make money in real estate as well, man. I love it, man. Good stuff. Yes, good stuff, brother. But hey, man, it's been a real pleasure having you on. I'm looking forward to having you on again in a very near future. I know you're going to do some big things, especially starting out at 18 years old, man. Incredible story, man. I appreciate you taking the time to jump on the line with us today, man. And just keep us posted. Let us know what's going on. And we're happy to support you in anything that you do, bro. All right.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Hey, and listen, I hope you guys enjoyed today's podcast. If you did, do me a favor, support Payton below by clicking that like button and also leave a comment. Let them know that we're here to support him. I love this community that we're building here on YouTube. I'm trying to provide the best information that you guys can get, whether it's through my podcast or my YouTube videos. But, you guys know I'm here to help you go from where you are right now to where you want to go in your real estate business. And by providing stories just like this. This is definitely an inspirational story. And I know that each and every single one of you guys have some type of inspiration in you as well. So listen, hope you guys enjoyed today's podcast. Be sure to like it, subscribe to this channel if you're not already. And I'll talk to you guys on the next one. Peace.